Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I am going to be going through all of the books that I am planning to read during quarantine. I have a ton of books that I have wanted to read for a really long time but never really got to. I'll just be telling you guys what I'm reading, and if you guys decide to read the same books, I'll try to put as many links to these books in the description as possible. I tried to sort them into like fiction, inspiring, self-help, and like other books. I don't even know. I tried to sort them into categories. I'm gonna start with books that I think are gonna inspire me to take action somehow. The first book, let's start from the bottom, I want to read is Becoming by Michelle Obama. I've been wanting to read this book for forever, but I never got to it. I actually already started it, barely. I like read the preface and I thought it was so good. I heard like a billion amazing reviews of this. So my sister also read it and she thought it was amazing. So I'll be reading that book at some point. Onward by Howard Schultz. Oh my god, this book has been on my reading list for forever. And I've like gotten pretty deep into it each time, and then never continued it, and then forgot what was going on. I couldn't just like start where I left off because I was like, wait, what's going on? So I am going to be restarting this book. I restarted it recently. I'm literally on page 5. I think it's a great book to read right now, considering everything that's going on in the world and like the world having to take a pause. And literally what Starbucks did is in 2008 they like paused all of their business so that they can like perfect the business and like fix all the issues that were going on. So I think it would be a really cool book to read right now. Also, I just love Starbucks and just their business model beyond just like their cups of coffee. Like they just have a really good business model. Then there is Wild by Cheryl Strayed. I'm bad at reading the author's names. This is basically about a girl who felt really lost in her life after her mother passed away, and she decided to hike the entire Pacific Crest Trail, which is like this really long trail that leads from like, I think California to Washington, just the west of America. California to Washington State. Yeah, I was right. Okay, I started reading this book. I got like 20 pages in and I thought it was really good, but I started reading it in the middle of the semester, so as the work started piling up, I was like not able to read anymore. But it's a really good book so far, and honestly really inspiring about like how you just have to get up and do things to like get yourself back in shape, like not just physical shape, you know, like mental shape. Whatever. This is a book my sister got me. It's called PostGrad by Carolyn Kitchener. And it's about 5 women and their first year out of the Ivy League. That's what the front says. And I thought it was really cool. I read the beginning of it as well. I'm on page 9. I have this habit of like starting books and then never continuing it. I'm like, wow, that was a good book. I'm gonna like put this down and re-pick it up later. So now I'm gonna try to get through all those books that I felt that way about. But this one's about how they decided to take the not easy route coming out of school. So there's a bunch of different scenarios. I'm pretty sure one goes to be like an entrepreneur, but they all do like different things, and it walks through like their first year out of Ivy League college, which I think is really cool, and it'll probably be really inspiring. The next one is Letters to the Church by Francis Chan. I've been wanting to read this book for forever because the pastor that teaches the young adults Bible study that I attend, he recommended this book like almost 2 years ago, like a year and a half ago. And it's basically about what American churches are doing wrong and how we can correct that, and how we can look at the church the way that the Bible tells us to look at church instead of the way that like it actually looks right now, because there's some things that are just like not, I don't even know, just not right about the way certain churches are. So I think that's a really cool book and really want to read it. And then this is a book, it's not really one that's going to inspire me to action, but started reading it a little bit ago, like when quarantine began, and it's called Inheritance by Dani Shapiro. I'm on page 83, and I actually got this book for free at BookCon last year. Oh my gosh, that was such a good experience. Yeah, it was oh my gosh, it was so cool. So we like waited in line, and then when you got to the front there would be like a woman there who would ask you your preferences in a book, and then you tell them like, oh, I prefer fiction or nonfiction, I prefer like, I don't know, like a mystery, or like, I don't even know, but like it was just like, what do you prefer in a book? And she gave me this book, and it was like wrapped up like a present. It was so cute. There was like a bow on it and everything. So I like unwrapped it, and I never got around to it until quarantine started. and it's actually so good. So it's about this woman, and it's a true story. So it's about this woman who finds out that who she thought was her biological dad is not her biological dad. She goes on a hunt to figure out who her biological father is and like how this mix-up happened. And it's honestly a really, really good book so far. So I highly recommend this one. I'll definitely put this in the description if I could find it. Also, in the description, I'll put my GoodReads account if you guys want to follow along with what I'm reading at the moment, because I am like tackling quite a few books at the same time. I just like can't read one book at once. I'm the type where like I'm in different moods during the day, so like I need different types of books to cater to that. I don't even know. But yeah, on to the next category. It's more like self-help kind of stuff. I'm reading Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. I've been recommended this book a billion times by a billion different people. I'm on page 69 of it already. It's basically about how most people that end up successful, it's not like a coincidence that they ended up successful. Like there's a lot that goes into outliers, like people that are outliers in like their industry or whatever they're in, and there's like a lot of science behind it. So it's really cool. I started reading it, and honestly, from what I've read so far, it's kind of too sciencey for me. Like there's too many data tables. I know that there's a reason for it. I'm just like, I'm not sure if it's my style, but a lot of people really like the book. So I'm gonna keep reading it and give it the chance it deserves since everyone recommended it to me. The next book is The Subtle Art of Not Giving. I have been reading this book for so long. Like, I think I started this book a year ago. I'm on page 152, but I just want to finish it up. It's a really, really good book, but it's one of those books that, like, takes time to digest. And, like, if you actually want to implement the stuff into your life, step by step, like, as he's, like, talking about it, it kind of does take a while to read. Like, you can read it in one shot. It's a really easy book to read. And his writing style is really, like, it's a flow. Like, it's really easy to understand. It's as if he's, like, speaking to you. I really wanted to implement the stuff in my life, so I've been taking a while to read it, and until like I feel like the previous chapter I'm implementing it in my life, I don't read the next one. So it's been taking a while, but I did get pretty deep into the book so far, which is cool. I just want to finish it up. The last one my dad lent to me, it's Jab 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 Right Hook by Gary Vaynerchuk. I love Gary Vee. I love him. I watch all of his videos on Instagram that he posts because I think he's so inspiring. But this is basically about how to make like that final step into branding yourself, and like it says how to tell your story in a noisy social world, and it like has all of like the social media icons at the bottom. So I feel like this book is going to be a really good thing to read. I did start this book as well. Like it's cool. There are like pictures and stuff. I'm pretty sure this was actually, was this in my last, I think this was in my last book list too. August, my nonfiction is Jab 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 Right Hook by Gary Vaynerchuk. This book is like huge, like it's my entire torso kind of. Also, I just like, I have a lot of respect for this man, you know? Gary Vaynerchuk, great guy. I don't know when I'm gonna read that book, but I'd like to read it soon. Alright, so there are a bunch of books that I should have read in high school and that I wanted to read in high school. I bought all these books in high school, or like got them somehow in high school, so except for this one. So my sister gave me this about a year ago, Go Ask Alice, and it's basically about drug addiction and how it spirals out of control. I started reading this last year. I only got up to page 10 before I was like, I gotta put this down for now. It is a good book, but it's pretty like dense and like has pretty upsetting concepts in it. I do want to get through it though, so I'm gonna read this book at some point. It was really popular when I was in high school. That's why I put it in this category. The next one is Little Women. I actually read part of this book in high school because my school put on the play, and then now that it's a movie, I kind of want to read the whole book before I go watch the movies. It's really good so far. I'm on page 29 and I think it's pretty good. It is one of those books that like kind of takes a second to like absorb. I think it's really good. It's one of those, like, it's written very classically. Is that a word? I don't know, but it's a very classic style of writing. So if you're not used to it, like as you keep reading, you get the hang of it. But when you first like dive into the book, you're like, oh, what? The next one, ooh, this is a challenge. Moby Dick. It's not that I've heard good things about it. It's that like, it's a book that a lot of people reference. I feel like it's kind of like the Odyssey, where like you kind of have to read it, and it's like, I don't know. I just really want to read it. A classic that I never got to. Brave New World. I should have read this in high school. I did not. I read the beginning and I read the end, and everything in the middle I just kind of skipped through. Like, I skimmed, I read Spark Notes, and I just got through the class. I did not like reading in high school. I might actually do a video where I review all of the books that I was supposed to read in high school, like rereading like Gatsby and reading Brave New World and Fahrenheit 451 and like all of those like classic books that I was supposed to read in high school. The next book is A Raisin in the Sun. I've heard great things about this book. It's one of those books that like you hate reading as a kid and then later it like impacts your life, so I would love to get through this book. Alright, next pile. These are, I don't even know, this is kind of a weird pile. The first book on the top of the pile is The Hamilton Affair. I bought this book almost a year ago, maybe a little over a year ago, but I really wanted to read it and then never got around to it. I saw Hamilton just a few months ago, so I feel like this would be a fun little revive of my energy and love for Hamilton. Okay, I think it was exactly 2 years ago. I was in this class, Intro to Management, and my professor, if he felt like you were being a model student, he would give you a book, and the book that he gave me is All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony. Oh, I forgot that I did not say the authors of like anything in the last pile. Oops, it'll be in the description. This one's by Anthony Doerr. And this book was also like on the Barnes & Noble like must reads for a while, and it's one of those books that everyone says is like really good. Every time I like go on Pinterest and I see like 10 books you have to read, this is on the list. So it's a winner of the Pulitzer Prize. That's important. I don't really know what it's about. Let me read the blurb. I can't see with my glasses on. Oh my god. Okay. Wow. That sounds terrifying, but I feel like I'd really enjoy it. It would be a nice change of pace from the books that I normally read. I mean, he gave it to me, so I might as well read it, right? The next one is Gone Girl. My sister gave this to me about a year ago also. She gave me like a bunch of books from this bookstore in the city called The Strand. It's almost like a book thrift store. And my mom actually brought it up the other day. I guess she watched the movie or saw a trailer for it and she was like, have you read Gone Girl? I'm like, no, but I have it. So I just added that to my reading list and I want to read it. I don't know what happened to the cover of it, but whatever. The last book. Oh my god. I'm pretty excited for this one because my boyfriend recommended it to me and I read the beginning of it. How far did I get in? Good thing I didn't bookmark anything. That's fine. But I read at least the first chapter of it and I really liked it, and the third book came out pretty recently. I think it was like sometime last year. I really want to go through this trilogy. I think it's gonna be amazing. I love sci-fi trilogies. Like, I lose my mind over them. Like, I just finished, actually it's not even a trilogy, but I finished the Red Queen series and I thought it was amazing. Yeah, these are all the books that I will be reading or that I'm currently already reading. I'm in the middle of so many books, like it's actually ridiculous. Anyway, I hope you guys read along with me. If you're interested in doing that, my GoodReads will be linked below, and like I said, if you're interested in picking up any of these books, I will be leaving Amazon links below. I'm thinking that after the quarantine's over, maybe I will make another video and review all of the books that I did end up getting to. I hope I can get to all of them, but like, who knows at this point. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know that a lot of you did enjoy my summer reading list, so if this is something that you like, give it a thumbs up so I know to make more of these as I continue reading. And if you guys want to see reviews of any of the books, leave it in the comments which ones you're interested in and I will review those books for you. Also, don't forget to follow my socials. They're always linked below. And if you enjoy my content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell if you want to be notified every time I post a new video. I haven't really come up with a consistent uploading schedule yet, so that would be really helpful to you if you're interested in what I'm posting. Yeah, comment down below what books you're currently reading, if you're reading anything. Actually, okay, comment down below if you have any book recommendations. Thank you guys for sticking around this long, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day and that you're keeping yourself busy during quarantine too. That's all I got for you today, so I'll see you next time.